Good evening, everyone. I know that it has been a while since I posted. This isn't working. Okay. Hmm, There we go. I'll take the fangs out. It's an acquired learning how to talk with your fangs and especially with your S's. But I know it's been a while since I posted. I've been busy. I got a different job. I'm not working in the history field anymore. I went back into the medical field and working in the evenings, working at night, lots of hours. So I've been really tired, too tired to post, and but I am making a lot more money. I got a new car, Hyundai Tucson, and things have been going pretty well. I just wanted to talk about Judge Kavanaugh. I did go to Moore this year, the mother of all rallies in DC in September. I got to see a lot of my friends. So if you're watching and I saw you, hello. And I had really gotten out of the habit of posting videos and kind of angry at myself for doing that. And my friends, Ben and Will and Hareem, have been really getting on me to post more content. So here I am. Probably going to be short videos just because of how busy my work schedule is. I literally have no social life. If I had time to go to DC and protest, I would be there with Ben. I would be there with everyone to protest in favor of Judge Kavanaugh. But I'm so glad that he was confirmed today and sworn in as a Supreme Court Justice. And, you know, I'm dumbfounded by the Democrats and their playbook. The Democrats already have a URL for the next Supreme Court justice that President Trump will nominate, because he will at least get one more, if not two more, Supreme Court picks. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is not going to be around much longer. The woman can barely hold her head up. By the way, I hope Judge Kavanaugh boofs every time he walks past her. But the thing is that the Democrats, they do these tactics, and it always comes back. It might work for them in the beginning, but it always comes back to bite them in the ass. And this is what I'm talking about. The Democrats, okay, have tried to use sexual harassment against people. They did it with Clarence Thomas, and I said this is exactly like Clarence Thomas. They didn't learn from their mistakes. And so we have Clarence Thomas round 2 on steroids. The problem with what they tried to do with Kavanaugh is there was no evidence for any of the women that came forward. This was purely political. And I don't, when I see these women that say believe her, why should I believe someone who has no evidence? I mean, are these the same women who, when their children are fighting, are always going to take their daughter's side because the boy is always wrong? I mean, it's ridiculous. Christine Ford, the broken down Ford, found on road dead. I was touched. I was groped. I don't know where it happened. I don't know when it happened. I don't know what year it happened. And it might not even been Kavanaugh, but I'm pretty sure it was Kavanaugh. So believe me, I would not convict anybody on that. I would not try and destroy anybody over that. And I told people, I said, I'm not going to smear Kavanaugh when there isn't any evidence. And I want guilt. My burden of proof for me, my standard is guilt beyond a reasonable evidence, or guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. If you're going to try and ruin someone's career and their reputation and try and destroy their family, because allegations like this can destroy a family. It rips a family apart. And so my burden of proof for me to believe her is evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. If people are saying, oh, but it's not going to destroy his life. It's not going to ruin his life if he doesn't get on the Supreme Court. He's a judge. He has worked his entire career. This is the highest honor in your career. And for something that you've worked for decades, if you get denied that over a lie, that's not going to ruin your life and ruin your reputation, ruin your family. I mean, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes of this family and how much it may have torn he and his wife apart. Just the fact that they've been getting death threats and everything else. So for me, that burden of proof was never met with, I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how I got home, I don't know where the party was, I don't know, but I know I was touched by this guy over here 40 years ago. Well, that's not good enough for me. What would be good enough for me to at least want to listen to her is if there was a police report filed at that time. Even if the police did nothing with the report, if she would have filed a police report at that time with the allegations written down with fresh memories, and the police were able to go and interview the other witnesses and get their statements in writing at the time, and if there's any evidence, physical evidence, it could have been collected at that time. She didn't do that. So to me, if you don't have evidence, I'm sorry, but 40 years later is not the time to air your grievance. The other accusers were weaker than her. So we know that the Democrats will try and use the Me Too to smear people. So we expect that now. And you better come with better evidence than what you had, because that was ridiculous. And Alyssa Milano sitting behind the judge. I mean, Alyssa Milano, some washed up old actress. She hasn't been relevant since I was a teenager, 30 years ago. It's ridiculous. So we know the playbook. And if you want to believe someone without evidence, then you're just stupid. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to ruin someone's reputation, family, and career over an allegation that looked more political than anything else. And I can tell you, I am a woman. I know there are women who will make up stories and lie about men. For all I know, maybe Kavanaugh was her high school crush and he turned her down, and maybe she wanted revenge for that. I know women can be spiteful like that. I mean, women are creatures that do not like to be scorned and will look for their opportunities to get revenge. So, there's a lot of different motives as to why she may have come forward, a personal vendetta. Judge Kavanaugh's mother was said to have ruled over a foreclosure case with her parents. I mean, all kinds of accusations going around. And I was disappointed that Jeff Flake did what he did, but Jeff Flake is a flake. I have not liked Jeff Flake or John McCain for many years. They gave away Apache land in Arizona to foreign mining interests against the Apaches' desires. And they have been protesting that. So this man is not a virtuous man to begin with. But, the Democrats have tried to use the Department of Justice's resources as their own personal Gestapos. They use the FBI to try and go after Trump with this Russian collusion nonsense. because they don't like Trump, so they want to get him impeached. So they're going to use the FBI as their own personal police force to go after and try and build this case against Trump, which nobody has been charged with collusion. It's all lesser crimes, other crimes in business. So I don't know if the Democrats thought, well, we're going to send our personal police force, the FBI, in to investigate this, and they're going to do what they do with all of the cases they're going to do whatever we tell them to do, like they've done in the past, like with Hillary Clinton and going after Trump. So that's what I mean by the Democrats are so short-sighted and do things that will eventually bite them in the asses. Remember the IRS? They went after Tea Party members and audited Tea Party people through the IRS with Lois Lerner, who should be behind bars, by the way. Again, using a federal Justice Department to go after their political enemies. This is nothing new for the Democratic Party. They will always try and use their power in the federal government to go after the little guys, even the big guys like Trump. Because if they can stomp on Judge Kavanaugh, President Trump, who are not small fries, imagine what they could do to the rest of us. Imagine what they do to people every day that they don't like, whether it is their gender, whether it's their race, whether you're someone of the race but you don't have the right groupthink. So when the swamp gets drained, it will be turned back on them. The other thing is, thank you, Harry Reid, for the nuclear option that a simple majority confirms a Supreme Court justice, which is how we got Kavanaugh. So thank you. Again, Democrats trying to use something for their own political gain in the short term has now bit them in the ass. But if we have learned anything from the Kavanaugh case, here's what we've learned, ladies. If there are ladies still listening, I'm a lady, thank you. Right, the Peter Strzok. Or is that the Parkland shooter girl? I can't remember. Anyway, but ladies, girls, if you're out there listening, if you are the victim of a sexual assault, this is no joke. I don't care how embarrassed you are. I don't care how scared you are. The most important thing is that you report it to the police. You report it to the police at the time it happens. This is so important. Because the reason for this, one, is when you report that crime at the time it happens, there is still evidence that can be collected. Your clothing is evidence. Your body is evidence. It's so crucial to get that. You have to do it. I don't care how scared you are. If you want to stand up for yourself and you want to prevent this from happening to other women, you have to do that. You have to report it immediately. If there's bruises on your body, they have to be documented. Pictures have to be taken. You need to file that police report. Even if the guy gets away, is not prosecuted, at least you have something in writing. You have a report that 30 years later, if this person's going to be a president or a Supreme Court justice, you can say, well, I filed a report 30 years ago when this happened. You can go and you can find it. That's evidence. That's how you beat the men who have hurt you. That's how I would have believed any one of these women, if they would have had evidence from the time it happened, when memories are fresh, when it's written down and recorded and documented at the time. That is so hard to refute. Anyway, so I'm back. Just wanted to leave my thoughts on Kavanaugh, and I'm going to go and have a beer in honor of, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to have a beer. I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol, but I'm going to go and actually get ready for bed. I've put in a 12-hour shift today. I'm very, very tired. And I wish you all pleasant dreams. Please leave me a comment if you like. Please leave me a comment if you don't like. Doesn't matter, because I probably won't respond anyway. Well, unless I know you. But, unpleasant dreams.